Hey everyone, Greg Albrecht here. I want to walk you through the unboxing of our latest creation, the AirTAK. AirTAK comes in a canvas bag like this. Everything you need is in here and ready to go. Here's a ruler to give you some of the dimensions. We're looking at about 11 inches on one side and let's say 7.5 inches on the other side. So easily portable. In fact, the kit takes down a significant smaller portion than that, so you could roll it up and stick it somewhere if you want it. It's also got this carrying strap, so you could strap it to something or just grab it and roll with it, and a nice big zipper on top. So if we unveil here, if we open up, you can see all of our goods fit inside. No loose parts to rattle outside of your bag or around the truck or around the vehicle. Everything you need for the kit should be in here and ready to go. First thing we'll pull out is, it comes with a power supply. This is the right power supply for this device. It's the right wattage for the device that we're running here, and that has a built-in cable. It's also going to come with another USB cable and a vehicle adapter. So if you need to power this in your vehicle, you're going to get the right wattage out of this adapter and this cable here. And then what else we got in here? So we've got antennas. These are for each of the frequencies that the AirTAK can receive. You see we have an antenna here that's labeled for 1090. That's one antenna there. And then another antenna here that's labeled for 978. So we're going to need both of these antennas for operation. And then finally, the star of our show here, put the bag aside, is the AirTAK itself. So it comes in this box. Everything you need is already set up in here. It'll have an SD card in here already loaded with all the software that you need. And then the antenna ports, you can tell the awesome labeling job there. Awesome labels for the antennas, tell you where to go. So your 1090 antenna is going to go there, and your 978 antenna is going to go on the other side. So yellow to yellow, green to green, and you're good. There's also a little, this, in case anyone's wondering, this is some tension glue. It's meant to keep the nut and the washer attached to this so you don't end up getting it loose and from rattling around. If you want to peel that off to change this out, I don't recommend it, but it's just some tensioning glue. It's just plastic, and that's on there. And then while you're not using the device, I would recommend keeping these dust covers on there to keep it protected. The device itself has built-in active and passive cooling, so it should stay pretty cool while you're out in the field, and takes regular USB power there, again, either from this power supply or from your vehicle power supply or an external battery pack. There's typically no need to open up the back end of the device, but if you're curious, everything the device needs is in here. It's got our SDRs, our software-defined radios, for both bands that we receive, as well as a built-in GPS so you can locate the device itself. There's another little fan there for some active cooling, and then an Ethernet port if that's what you're into, plugging into Ethernet. So let me go ahead and box this back up. All right, so let's fire this guy up. First thing I'm gonna want to do, as a general rule of thumb, is before we power any RF equipment up, let's make sure we attach antennas. So we could pull those dust covers on there. Again, I would hold on to these dust covers, so maybe throw them in the bag. Today we're going to be using shore power, so we don't need the vehicle power adapter, so we'll toss that in there as well. Power we'll put aside for now. I think we know how big it is, but in case you want to know how big the antennas are, we're looking at about 7.5 inches, and then the device itself about 5.5 inches. Okay, and then on the side, yeah, there you go. So 2.5 inches dimension, and then while we're here, let's just get all the dimensions, right? Cool, happy, great. So we'll put the ruler aside for now. Let's attach our antennas. Easier said than done. Okay, so we got our 1090 antenna, yellow to yellow, and we've got our green 978 antenna, green to green, and we got that good to go. So this is what it should look like when it's set up, an antenna on each side, yellow to yellow, green to green. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to plug power into that port right there. So we're going to get that from our power supply. I'm going to unravel that. I'm plugging it in over here, off screen. Make it look a little pretty while we're working. Great. And we plug it into the side. And here comes the noise. Ready? There we go. So it's got those fans running. So you're going to hear those fans while it's running. Again, that's going to help keep the device cool because it's got a bunch of hardware in there that's going to heat up while it's operating. But it should be okay on the field. We've done some field testing with this. So as long as you're not putting it in direct sun, and as long as you get some way of getting air in and out of this device, you should be good to go. Okay, so that's all we need for the hardware setup. The next step is we're going to go over to our smartphone. Actually, I'm going to use my tablet, and we'll see what this looks like from the tablet. All right, so now here we are in AirTAK. What we're going to do is we're going to connect to the Wi-Fi access point on our AirTAK. So you just got AirTAK running here on my tablet. I'm not currently connected to any networks, so you don't see anything else on the map except for me. We're going to go to the Android pull down here, go to Wi-Fi, and you can see that there is a Wi-Fi network here called AirTAK Alpha 282. So each AirTAK will come up with its own unique identifier. This one's called AirTAK Alpha 282. So we just click on that, and our tablet will connect. It might complain that there's no internet. Yeah, that's fine. We're not worried about that. So now we'll back out of this menu, and right away you can see we have aircraft appearing on the screen. If we click on that, we can see that we're getting that. It's a SkyWest flight, and we're getting that from the AirTAK. This flight's at about somewhere in the sky, 6,000 feet MSL. It's got a bearing away from us, so it's heading away from us. Doesn't look like there's a lot of other traffic at the moment, but we'll hang tight and see who else pops up on the screen. We also have to consider that this is sitting in my house on my desk, so we're not using our external antenna, so we're not really seeing all the aircraft that are in the airspace right now. This one's right off the coast for me, so it's pretty easy to spot. But that's it. That's all we had to do to get this up and running. We plugged it in, we turned it on, we connected the antennas first, and then we connected to the Wi-Fi access point from AirTAK. And right away you can see we were seeing aircraft on here. So that's really all you got to do to get the AirTAK up and running. In a later video, I will show how to do this using a web browser.